Things that have happened in this country in the last week that killed a total of 11 people. The suspect in Saturday's attack on an LGBTQ club just finished a first court appearance. The defendant will stay in jail without bond for now in Colorado. Let's go to Virginia now. Investigators just identified the shooter in a rampage last night that left 6 people dead. A survivor said a Walmart employee started shooting in a break room.
Today, President Biden issued a plea urging greater action in gun reform, saying, "Jill and I grieve for those families, for the Chesapeake community, and for the Commonwealth of Virginia, which just suffered a terrible shooting at the University of Virginia this month. We also mourn for all those across America who have lost loved ones to these tragic shootings that we must come together as a nation to stand against." And we do begin in Chesapeake, Virginia. CNN's Brian Todd has been there all morning. So, Brian, what more are you learning?
Brianna, Victor, we're getting some new information from the city of Chesapeake and from Walmart. They're identifying, as you mentioned, that the suspect's name is Andre Bing, 31 years old. They tell us that he was a night manager, a night team leader here at this Walmart. The city of Chesapeake says that he was armed with a handgun and multiple magazines when he shot. Law enforcement sources telling us he went into a break room and shot people there. We spoke to a witness who had a very close call herself. She was shot at by the suspect. Her name is Brianna Tyler. Here's what she told me a short time ago about what that experience was like.
He didn't say a word. He didn't point at anyone. He didn't look at anyone specific. He just had a blank stare on his face, and he just literally just looked around the room and just shot. And there were people just dropping to the floor. Everybody was screaming, gasping. And yeah, he just walked away after that and just continued throughout the store and just kept shooting. In that moment, it still hadn't really kicked in that it was real, because I was thinking it was like a simulation type of thing. Like, this is what we do if we have an active shooter. And the reason why I think it was that was because I recognized his face.
Brianna Tyler also told us that prior to this, she had been warned by others at Walmart that this manager, Andre Bing, was someone to look out for because there were always some kind of issues going on with him, some kind of odd behavior. She said she didn't have any personal experience with him in that regard, but that she had been warned about him. Now, we've been pressing Walmart officials for several hours whether any disciplinary action has ever been taken against Andre Bing previous to this, and whether anybody had registered any complaints about him. They have not answered those questions in particular. Victor, Brianna?
You've been a long-time employee there, so you'll continue to ask these questions for us. Brian Todd, thank you.
Let's go to Colorado now. A judge just unsealed the arrest warrant to the lawyers of the suspect in the Club Q mass shooting.
The 22-year-old defendant is accused of gunning down 5 people this weekend and just appeared in court. CNN correspondent Rosa Flores is in Colorado Springs with the latest. So, Rosa, what exactly happened in the hearing?
Well, the suspect appeared in court wearing a mustard jumpsuit. He was handcuffed by the hands. He sat through the entire proceeding, and if you looked closely at his face, you could see some bruising. Remember, the heroes that we've talked to in the past few days have described how they beat the suspect to subdue him to stop the carnage on Saturday night. Now, the hearing itself lasted but a few minutes. Again, this is only the first appearance with the suspect speaking softly, only to answer questions by the judge. The suspect also waived his rights regarding the reading of the charges in open court, but the DA, after the hearing, stated those charges, saying that they include 5 counts of first-degree murder and 5 counts of hate crime. Now, during this proceeding, the judge referred to the suspect by the pronoun he. This after we've known, based on court documents, that the suspect has asked to be referred to by them and they. They now identify as non-binary. Now, the district attorney was asked if this new non-binary identification by the suspect impacts the investigation in any way, shape, or form. The DA responded by saying that absolutely not, that in the eyes of the law, the definition of the suspect is now the defendant. And the DA saying that his job now is to look at evidence and be the voice of the victims in court. Take a listen.
I want them to know that we are going to be the voice for the victims in the courtroom, and that we will be fighting alongside them through this entire process.
Now, the district attorney says that the 4 more charges against the defendant could be presented on December 6th. That's when the next hearing is, but that could be delayed due to a scheduling conflict. Brianna, Victor?
Rosa Flores, thank you.